EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They begin on the ground with Kamara. They'll get this to the 24, and it's second down. This defense for the Cards, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Jameis to throw it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marco Wilson. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up a bit, a little bit didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
3.5 to go, first quarter. To throw again on second down. Murray, and this one incomplete, threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Steps away to his left. He's going deep for Brown, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
With it is Brown. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves.
He's got a man, complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Cardinals at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Here's Murray. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Now Matt Prater for the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Zach Ertz has it complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Murray on the sneak, and he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. The sneak successful from a yard out. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes our score 17-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question, because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
To throw is Murray. And Hopkins has got it. Touchdown, Arizona. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Cardinals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Prater for the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Winston, and incomplete on the deep ball. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball,
and the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. And going the books is a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, third and long. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, it might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Play fake. Murray. This one into the hands of the running back, Halage. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
There's a nice move. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Murray flips his forward on a jet sweep. Now the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. James Conner, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have opened the lead up to 30. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcerless games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half? After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They go play action. Winston. And now here's another interception. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense.
Touchdown! Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Cards are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception? And my goodness, another interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now Balaj, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kalen Balaj, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals extend their lead yet again. So that's now 10 touchdowns for him on the year. He's into double figures, and we're not even to the halfway point of the season yet.
Partner, doesn't it speak to how well he works with this offensive line? They know he doesn't need a giant alley to run through. He just needs a little seam. And he's so good at being patient, waiting for things to develop, and then accelerating when it does appear.
And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Brown. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Pass complete to his running back, Kalen Ballage. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started.
This one fielded at the 5.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll start on the ground with Ballage. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Marcus Davenport able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here 1st and 10. On play action, Winston. And now here's another interception.
picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cardinals are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part.
This is caught inside the 15.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. It's so easy to focus on the speed and elusiveness of Kyler Murray, but as he shows right there, don't sleep on the arm strength.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray.
And this will be swung out here for counter.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
Again, they'll throw with Murray. Flushed out right. And that's incomplete.
Well, no surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
4th down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now.
Oh, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good. But that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
3rd and short yardage, Winston. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Now Winston on 4th down. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Winston now.
Looking for Ross again. He finds him again.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they got this game well in hand.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Play action now. Winston. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he pushed it from short distance, wide right. It's no good.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Balaj.
And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That goes for 14 yards, 1st down Cardinals.
Well, if they can execute the run-pass option like that, it puts the defense in a really, really tough spot.
The running ability of Kyler Murray makes defensive coordinators and players crazy, because essentially now you have an extra running back there. So if he keeps it, you've got a problem. If he hands it inside, you're probably not ready for it because you have all your focus back on number 1.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Balaj. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Murray now to throw. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
To throw, it's Murray. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play fake. Winston. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.